dream last night that I had a DeLorean time machine. I was at some exotic locale and it looked incredible. Had the hat, the jacket, the hoverboard. But then I woke up.
It's Tuesday night on the Jeff Meacham Network. That means it's time once again for Stat Boy Sports Bar. Here is your host, live from Orange County, California, at least for now, Stat Boy Mike.
Hello, my internet fans. Welcome to another week. I think we're on week 22 or week 23 of Stat Boy Sports Bar. Of course, we're in, I believe, week 8 or week 9 of NBA, and I believe we're in week 4 of NHL. And we've got plenty to talk about, but it's another week, so we're here. It's Tuesday night. Thank you all for coming into the Sports Bar and getting all your latest sports news. That's not ESPN.
I'm sorry for the opening.
Fox
I'm sorry for the opening credits taking about 3 weeks of that 23 weeks. I apologize for that. It's been
Oh,
a day.
that's all right. That's all right. We opened the show in memoriam of Rusty Brooks, a wrestling name that you might not have heard of. Of course, he was in the WWF years from 82 to 85. He was basically known as enhancement talent, also known as a jobber. Yet in 1985, he did have a title match with Hulk Hogan. He actually got to face Wyndham and Rotunda and the Bulldogs, but he was the heel jobber. You know, whenever the good guy comes out, here's Rusty Brooks. He went by the name The Masked Assassin. So if you ever find The Masked Assassin on Championship Wrestling or whatever classic shows, you might find him on the network. You never know. Do a search with the network. But we opened the show in memoriam in his memory. So there you go.
Yes, it was the first time we've done in memoriam with a wrestler that I had never heard of him before. So there you go.
There you go. So let's get started into the sports news. And just when you think we're done with football, we're not. The first big news out of football season is, where does J.J. Watt go after being released? After being released from the Houston Texans, where's he going to end up? Let's start the speculation. Why not? Let's put him in Dallas and see what happens. Yeah. Why not? You know,
I don't mind. You know what?
Go ahead.
I would say last week. I think we were talking about Watt last week. I would love to see him in Pittsburgh, just so the Watt family can be happy, and just so Greg and Big G and everybody can just go, ooh, maybe we'll actually get redeemed for getting dicked over this season.
It's a possibility, you know. If I could see him going to one, you know, anybody going to the Jets would be a blessing in disguise. Because let's face it, the Jets had. In fact, there was some big fantasy draft news. I do apologize. I don't remember what it was, but I think it had to do with Russell Wilson even going to the Jets. And I'm like, no. I think it had to do with Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, and somebody else going to the Jets. Kirk Cousins going to the Jets? That would be, oh God, that would be like, I don't know what it would be, but it would be bad for all the Minnesota fans, I think, out there. Cousins will not leave Minnesota anytime soon, I don't think. So like I say, just when you think football is over, it's not. Let me give a little mini shout out to the Gridiron Grapple. I was on their show today. And if you want to get to know more about the Stat Boy, go check out Big Baller G's show. We talked about for about 45 minutes. It was basically just me talking about how I got started, told some good stories, mentioned you, Jeff, of course, how we got started with the sports bar and everything. So that was a pretty good interview. So if you want to know all those burning questions, or just send a super chat, because a super chat is a good way to get our attention. Oh, a sourdough jack. Good choice. Sourdough jacks are pretty good. See, now you got me ranting about sourdough jacks. Now I'm plugging them. So Jacks should send me some sourdough. Anyway, the other big news from the weekend, of course, the Great American Race, NASCAR season 2021 is in play. The big Daytona 500 finally took place with fans in the stands and everything. And of course, what happens when you go to a Daytona race? A crash. A big crash took out 16 cars in basically the first few laps. And I don't know who caused it, but my initial thought was Kyle Busch in the 18 M&M's car. Because let's face it, in this house, Kyle Busch gets blamed for everything. It's always, Dory loves her NASCAR, but she hates the Busch boys with a passion. Gotta remember why, though. I need to figure that one out. There's a Big Baller G's stuff there for the gridiron stuff. So 16 car crash, cars going all over the place. And to make things worse, when you're in Florida, you get thunderstorms, you get lightning, guns, militia coming out 5 o'clock in the morning. That should be a shirt for us of the Ric Flair post. Guns, militia, full scale riot, 5 o'clock in the morning, being taken out in an ambulance. But of course, a big rain delay took 6 hours to get the race back on track. And
if we do a Ric Flair shirt, we're going to do a Space Mountain shirt because he's still the longest line in the park, clearly after last night. Anyway.
Yes, we will be touching that. We will talk about that too.
I'm not touching that. Rick already touched that, and now he's in trouble. See? Anyway.
Well, when we start talking about wrestling, we'll talk about that. That's what I
meant. You didn't mean actual touching, because that'd be wrong for a 70-year-old man.
Because
talked about it in his Hall of Fame speech in front of me. Anyway.
Yeah, we can't. When Lacey is off duty and she's Summer's mom, you don't go near her. Otherwise, you're about to get shot, because she is trained in weaponry thanks to the military. She will kill you. But what a way to go! You go up to meet Lacey Evans, and then the next thing well, Jesus, here I am. I don't know what happened, but what a way to go!
You have a rather fiery woman with a temper with Marine training and now pregnancy hormones. I ain't going near that.
No, you are not. As far as the race itself, when it finally got back into play, the stage 1 winner, let me bring that up really quickly, was I don't like the idea of stages as well in NASCAR. I just want to see them race. Denny Hamlin, of course, won stage 1.
They added that a few years ago because people were complaining of how, remember, these races they're going faster than shit, but they still take hours to complete. So they had to break it up in stages to give people more. Yeah, exactly. And you know what? The Vegas people love that because there's more to bet on now. So
there you go. So Denny Hamlin won stage 1 after 65 laps, and he got stage 2. But the winner of the race was Michael McDowell, thanks to a last-minute crash or whatever and it was a fiery crash at that. Chase Elliott took second place, and Dory's favorite wrestler, Austin Dillon, took third. And
favorite driver.
Yeah, that is her favorite driver. I learned that last year, actually. So NASCAR season is up and running, and
the first time in a long time I haven't hated the top 3 at Daytona.
Yeah, Fox Super 6 is still going on, and they actually did
I can't stand Hamlin. He's a whiny little shit. I can't stand Kurt Busch. He's the biggest this side of the porn
Why is
capital
there
of
so much hate on the Bush
Valley.
brothers? Teach me. What's up with the Bush boys?
There's not though. Kyle. First of all, Kyle got himself out of his assholeness because his woman snapped his ass out of it. Right? Kurt's still a dick.
Okay.
He's a complete large syphilitic dick on the body of life. He's terrible. He's awful.
Dory will probably agree with you
Denny,
when she sees this.
Yeah, Denny, I liked Denny for the longest time. I did, but he's turned into a whiny little bitch. He's terrible. Logano, God bless Logano, dude. He was such a promising rookie. He had such a good couple of seasons, but now he's turned into another douche. Can't stand him.
Are all the NASCAR drivers bad?
No, not at all. There's just certain ones. To be fair, I've been on Harvick's ass for a long time. My dad kind of talked me off Harvick because he's actually gotten better. I'm pretty sure his woman got him in check too. Yeah, remember us racing fans, especially the NASCAR and the IndyCar guys, man. We either like our guys or we don't. And luckily, there's more this year that I don't mind so much. The thing is, my guy's gone. Jimmy Johnson retired. He comes in and out. Jeff Gordon's in the broadcast booth now, although people either loved or hated Jeff too for many years. Earnhardt Sr., God bless him. He had a little bit of a boo-boo in 2001, and we don't see him anymore, unfortunately.
Right.
Junior retired. Rusty Wallace, God bless him. He was one of the classy guys. He's gone. And what's really crappy is Kurt Busch was driving Rusty's car. That just chapped our ass here because we can't stand Kurt Busch. Goodness sakes. Anyway, so
and of course, there was also the big news of Bubba Wallace and the Michael Jordan racing team that failed miserably. I mean,
oh yeah.
Thanks to I think it was the first crash that took him out. I don't know if he survived through the second crash, but that was supposed to be a big thing. It was the 20-year anniversary that we lost the Intimidator, and Fox actually put a nice little tribute up there with Junior talking about his dad, and of course, tradition took place on the third lap. Everyone held up three fingers. Then the first crash happened. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so.
That was scary shit, man.
That was kind of scary. I mean, you put up three fingers, they crossed the line. Next thing you know, it was Dale, wasn't it? Dale did it. That was Dale coming back to us.
What's so funny, we often talk on this show and on all my shows on the network about, you remember where you were when blank happened. Yes. Right. You know exactly where you were. And I'll tell you what, Mikey, I was telling this story. I don't know if I was telling the story on the air or just talking about it with a friend of mine. I was working at my very first job I ever had. I had not quite turned 18 years old yet. So I was still 17 years old, working at Blockbuster behind the counter. Perspective of dating. We had set up the all new first time ever DirecTV display in the Blockbuster store. Okay. That's how long ago this was, 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So we've got the DirecTV playing where it's on whatever channel it's on. I'm shrink wrapping previously viewed VHSs to sell later. so old. Jesus Christ. Anyway, my beeper goes off. Not my cell phone. Not that.
You had my beeper back then?
My beeper goes off, right?
Wow.
And it's my girlfriend, and it's 911. I'm like, oh God, who what? Who died?
And it was Dale.
Hang on. Echo, thank you. So quiet you. Anyway, so yeah. So I get I get a beeper. So I call, babe, what's wrong? And she's sobbing on the phone. She's 15 years old, right? So she's a mess.
Right.
And I'm like, what's wrong? And she goes, he's gone. He's gone. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she goes, just turn on the race. I said, I think to myself, turn on the race. This is not good. So we get DirecTV on, I think it was Fox even back then. And they show the replay of Dale. And I went, oh my, like, and the whole store, like everybody, employees, customers just surrounded the DirecTV display. We just stood there for an hour just watching. It's like, wow.
I don't remember if I actually watched the race live. I want to say I was 2001. I think I was still working at the casino, and I think I came home and it was a Sunday, so Pop was watching the race,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and I think Pop was the one that broke the news. I mean, I think he had heard the news, and I'm like, oh, was it a pretty good race, Pop? He's like, you didn't hear? He's like, we lost Dale. I'm like, you say what? You know, I did the jaw hitting the floor and all that. I'm like, he's like, yeah, he crashed on the turn, and it was a pretty bad crash, and
Yeah.
he
The
didn't
thing
make
is,
it. And I'm like,
it wasn't like a big, like, oh my God, somebody's gonna die in this wreck. It was just a freaking fluke piece of equipment that just faulted.
yeah.
It was, oh man, it's such a stupid fluke thing. It was so screwed up what happened to him. I'm
It
sorry.
was, but and then I think when you moved into the casa, I think we all did the three finger salute. We all at one point we actually at one
Every year I did it, man, without fail. I didn't do it this year because I actually wasn't watching the race this year because I was I was working.
yeah,
So
but there was a day I think when we were watching the race, you, me, Renegade, everyone at the house, and we all just stopped and put up three fingers like we're supposed to do. And I do remember, I signed something at the Grand Prix era when we were doing the Grand Prix years. There was a book, and we all signed it, and I think that was
well,
the first time
what's funny is the year I moved in with you guys would have been the 10th anniversary because it was 2011.
Mhm.
So I may have been down for that race. I don't remember. I know we moved in WrestleMania weekend for sure. I know we moved in that weekend. But as far as before
Yeah.
that, I was much, I couldn't tell you.
And I think that was the very first time I said out in public. I'm like, if you ever see a black Chevrolet with a number 3 behind you, just get out of the way. That just pull over and let him go, because he had that drafting down to a science. He'd get right behind you. You could not. There was no way you were going to shake him. You could not shake the Intimidator. They called him that for a reason, and he got up right there. And next thing you know, and there goes Dale. There goes the and I also saw in the tribute video. And this is the first time I learned this. The blue and gold Wrangler car that he drove before the black Chevrolet
Right.
in the early. I saw that car and I'm like, that's a badass looking car, and it's got a great paint scheme. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, where's that car? I would love to see. I want to see that car. I don't want to see the black Chevrolet with the 3 on it. I want to see the Wrangler car.
Right. Well,
Right.
that's the Chevy was the Intimidator. That's the one that he,
Yeah.
took to prominence. So,
And I think
anyway.
and I even think that the announcers, or even Junior himself, said uh, he has the car on his property in his garage, and if you're lucky enough to see the car, you are not taking your cell phone out, and you are not getting a picture of that car.
No, absolutely not. And
Which
nor should.
absolutely not. Not nor should. I mean, if you want to see the car, that's fine. If you want to look at the car, that's fine. But you're not gonna click, 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 and all that good stuff. So
Todd,
NASCAR 20.
so because Todd was our benefactor Sunday and helped me out tremendously, I do want to
Yes.
say yes. The Hendricks team, I love Hendricks Motorsports. I love it, but I am a Penske guy because of the IndyCar. I go with the captain. And for a while, Roger had a lot of assholes driving for him in NASCAR, so he doesn't have Logano drives for him, which is never good.
And since Todd is in the chat room, let me probably again say thank you for that super chat the other day. That was amazing. I think that was the biggest super chat you've gotten so far.
Well, yeah, because I've only had super chats for 30, 47 days. So, there you go.
So thank you for that, Todd. Good
Yes,
job on that
dude,
one. So
I am because in the next few days here, you're going to see some wardrobe upgrades on the WQ Network's presentation side of things. So stay tuned. Anyway.
So there you go. So thank you for that, Todd. And if you have the urge to super chat again, by all means, go right ahead and do so. We will not turn down a super chat. All right. So now let's get on. Now let's segue from racing to wrestling, because they're kind of in the same wheelhouse. Of course, we briefly talked about it. The big storyline out of Monday Night Raw. Yep. Lacey Evans is with child. She announced it during the tag team match, And of course, they're going with the story that Ric Flair is going to be the daddy because they've been playing that storyline. How long has it been since we've had a pregnancy storyline in WWE?
Last year when Becky was really pregnant and they took the title off her.
There you go. But that wasn't story. They're going with story now. So obviously they haven't made a decision about what's going to happen with Asuka and the title match. Stay tuned with that. Also, the other news is that The Miz has decided to not go into the Elimination Chamber match because he has the Money in the Bank briefcase. However, he went up against Kofi Kingston last night.
Right.
And I did notice this before I fell asleep because I had done a lot of walking and my quads were burning up big time.
Right.
They showed a preview teaser trailer for Elimination Chamber, which is this Sunday, and we will get to my predictions in a second. But they put Kofi into the trailer and showed that before the match between Kofi and The Miz.
Actually, it was
place.
after. It
was after?
Because
I thought it was before.
No, because I was sitting here and the Kofi won the match, and the next segment after commercial was the trailer. And what do you know, Kofi? It's almost like they knew.
I thought it was before, and I thought they were totally going to spoil everything. Now because I fell asleep, did Kofi go into the gauntlet match as well last night?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
You don't remember? Okay, so I have no idea who's going in last on the chamber. So
going in last will be Sheamus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Drew went in like a couple people in, and he lasted all the way. Sheamus was the last guy out, and he just pretty much picked the bones because Drew was spent. Before we move on from this, I did want to show you. This is not my store, but this is how it looked at most stores. That's what we lost. Yeah, like that little bitty display there had it was a bigger monitor at our store. But yeah, that's like think about COVID now. There were like 10 people crowded around in that little area watching what was going on in Daytona.
Cool.
It was crazy. Such a crazy day. Anyway.
All right, so let's get to the predictions on what's going to happen at the Elimination Chamber. You have the card ready?
Elimination Chamber.
Chamber.
Sorry.
So
anyway.
Go ahead and
do you want the graphics?
If you want to put the graphics up, that's fine. If you can bring them up, I've got no problem with that.
All right, I'll go as quick as I can.
We'll plug the chamber match on Sunday, which I will be watching. And Elimination Chamber will be my final. Well, no, Fastlane's coming up too, but I think by then I'll be in Tennessee. So.
There you go. Pardon the phone in the background. That's his phone in here. I don't know why it's in here still, but
it's all good. It's all good. No
worries. You stupid. Hang on.
Technology at its finest, folks. Please stand by.
Okay. Why is this not working? I don't know. Hell with it. Just do it.
All right. So on the SmackDown side, of course, the Elimination Chamber winner will get a shot at Roman Reigns that night. But I have a feeling that whoever wins that match, I think they're going to do the whole Roman doesn't have to wait until the end of the show. Roman's going to have his match now.
That's exactly what they're doing. They already said that.
They already said that?
Well, yeah, they said that the winner of the chamber is going to face Roman like right now.
Great. So it's going to be kind of like when Cena lost the belt to Edge and all that stuff and whatnot. So here's the list. All right. So in the SmackDown Elimination Chamber, it's going to be Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, King Corbin, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, and Daniel Bryan. The storyline should continue with Owens winning the Chamber, and sadly, if it ends up being Roman's and Kevin, and they continue their storyline, then Roman will come out, arrive, wreck, and leave, like it says on his shirt. If Kevin somehow can miraculously knock off Reigns after possibly going through the Chamber, and then that could set up the match at Mania. And then I will so be looking forward to see Kevin Owens jump off the Tampa Bay Pirate ship. That'll be amazing to see that. If he said he wanted to do it last year, he's gonna get his chance this year. On the Raw side, it's Drew McIntyre putting up the title in the Elimination Chamber match against AJ, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Sheamus, and Kofi Kingston. I'm looking for Drew to retain. As much as I would like to see any of those combatants get the title back, more than likely, I think they're going to stick with the path that Drew and Sheamus are going for with the whole 20-year friendship thing, and that'll set up something for them at WrestleMania. Wikipedia is already announcing that Asuka will be putting up the title, but it's TBD. We have not heard anything official from WWE as of yet. And of course, you really can't trust Wikipedia because they don't know what's going on. More than likely, my quick suggestion, I would say let Peyton have the match, or use Lacey as a filler like what she did when she first got into WWE. She would come out in a pretty dress, walk down to the ramp, walk back up, maybe it's the same way, or like just before they lock up, you can't do it. You're medically sound. Leave the ring. Win the count out. Who knows what that's going to be? The triple threat match for the U.S. title: Bobby Lashley, Keith Lee, and Riddle. Honestly, I want to see. It doesn't matter if Keith Lee wins or it doesn't matter if Riddle wins. I want to see one of them with the U.S. title. I want to get the belt off of Bobby Lashley. I know I'm kind of growing on Riddle a little bit. I don't want to say he's RVD 2.0 with the whole bro and the implied stoner gimmick. I don't want to go there, but he's starting to grow on me a little bit, and I'm not ranting. Am I really ranting?
No, but your opinions about Matt Riddle do not reflect the views of the Jeff Meacham Network whatsoever.
You don't like him, I assume.
No, Riddle's one of two people I wouldn't mind Goldberg destroying.
Oh, I see where that's going from. Okay, you're going on the legit disrespectful of Goldberg. Okay, but you don't like Goldberg either. So what is it?
No.
Stadium implosion?
Riddle has disrespect toward everybody, and I have it on good authority that he'll get there. He'll figure it out. He just needs to have his head knocked loose a couple times by his elders, and he will, and that's fine. And if he gets there, great. But for right now, he's a inconsiderate little punk who happens to have an MMA credential. Good for him. I wouldn't tussle with him. He'll twist me into a friggin' pretzel. I get that. But he's got no respect for the people in WWE that have come before him. And it really bothers me. And it's not just me, it bothers, if you understand who I'm talking about. And so, yeah. When he showed disrespect to Goldberg, I found myself actually cheering for Goldberg, which made me want to vomit just on general principle. So, and then the other person I wouldn't mind Goldberg taking out, of course, is Brock Lesnar for very obvious reasons, if you know my history.
Obviously.
So,
then
anyway.
In that case, if I'm going off of that logic, then it would be okay for Keith Lee to get the belt. It'd be a nice also engagement present because he apparently he just got engaged to Mia Yim. Right. So that's I didn't know they were a thing until I heard, because I don't pay attention to NXT. I know I should, but I just don't. So with only those matches announced, unless they throw in a tag team title match or a women's title match, depending if the injury to Nia Jax is legit. I mean, they could throw in Lana and Naomi against Nia and Baylor, or
since you don't follow NXT, let me take over for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic on the women's side of things. They get a shot at the women's tag team champions, which happen to be Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. So the next shot against them is going to be, I believe, Dakota and Raquel. Okay. I'm not saying it's going to happen this Sunday, but that's the next team to get a shot. So anyway.
Make it a triple threat. Put on.
No. Have you not learned anything in a year?
Nope.
Threat, bad. Triple threat, bad. Triple threat loses me titles. Triple threat causes no, stop.
Okay, no.
Bad.
So that's what's going to happen. You are doing a watch along on Chamber, right?
You're gonna watch on the Chamber, and I will be live at. I know that the graphic says 2. I think. Let me look at the graphic here. Yeah, there it is, right there. It says 2 or 5 o'clock Eastern. I think WWE is going live either at 3 or 3:30, so 6 or 6:30. I'll probably be right around there. If I'll definitely go on before they do, without question. But the extra hour just drains me, and that first hour just drags. So there's nothing going on. I have nothing to report on. It's blah. So if anything, it'll be 6 o'clock 3 Pacific.
There you go. All right, as we get the push to WrestleMania with fans in the stands again. Let's move on to basketball. There is some basketball news. Then Mark Cuban has decided to stir the pot a little bit, but luckily the league superseded him and said no. Mark Cuban and the Mavericks wanted to not play the national anthem before basketball games. And I really didn't get all the details on it, but sort of a mini rant at this point. Mark Cuban, what the hell are you thinking? I mean, the United States national anthem is played before every sporting event, before every major event. You got to have it. You know, it may be the national anthem of the United States, but it's also, I would call it more universal. I mean, that. What was his reasoning behind this? I have no idea, and I really didn't get a chance to care about it because the league stepped in and the league said, "No, Mr. Cuban, we're superseding you. You are playing the national anthem will be played." So big kudos to that. I mean, you go, you go to the game, you take your hat off, you stand up, you honor America, and of course, there have been plenty of rants in the past on how I feel of kneeling during the national anthem. I never did like that idea, but people, I believe, still do it today as a form, as freedom of expression. You know, they have that First Amendment right, but that's all I'm going to go on that one.
Whole thing is, it doesn't matter if it's the Star Spangled Banner or America the Beautiful or whatever they choose. Vince McMahon, of course, prefers America the Beautiful. I don't know why. It's a beautiful song, but anyway, you need to show respect, and it's just not that it's a dictator edict, but it's pretty much like, okay, it's commonplace in this country. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So
anyway,
so there you go. So let's take a look at the standings and what's going on. Again, I'm not going to give details out yet. That's coming up for the rankings in just a couple of minutes. But the teams that would be in the playoffs right now, if the playoffs started today, in the East would be the 76ers, the Bucks, the Nets, the Celtics, the Pacers. Of course, these are from yesterday's results. I haven't counted today's yet because it's a new week. The Knicks, the Hornets, the Raptors, the Bulls, and the Heat, with the teams on the bottom being the Hawks, the Magic, the Cavaliers, the Wizards, and the Pistons. That's how the East sets up. And on the West, of the teams that would be in right now would be the Jazz, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Suns, the Trailblazers, the Spurs, the Nuggets, the Warriors, the Grizzlies, and the Mavericks, with the bottom teams being the Kings, the Pelicans, the Thunder, the Rockets, and the Timberwolves. Remember, the top 10 teams get in to the playoffs, and then 7 plays 10, 8 plays 9. Those two teams move on to the next round. Then we have a standard 8, 8, 4, 2, and 1 going into the finals. Yes.
Look to your left, or left screen left.
Hey, the Renegade is in the room.
JJ,
what's up, bro?
Until shout out, because I just got some news that was in the Twitter trend that you'll be interested in as a Disney person.
Oh,
yes,
this is new.
It literally happened right in front of me right now. So there you go.
Okay, cool. So let's get into the one of the highlights of
Yay!
Sports Bar. This is what we've been doing ever since week 1. It's the power rankings. Maybe we should
actually ready.
and just ready. Wow. Maybe we should do maybe we should invest into like a graphic and a little theme song or something.
Have
Maybe
like a
for
little
next season.
like a little dancing character go across the screen as the theme plays.
Hey, why not? You never know.
Let's
Anybody
all
can do
listen to the rankings. Anyway.
that. But don't go and have a snack. Team number
Well, hell,
30.
if you're on a 15, just watch on demand later, Jay. It's just trust me,
There
it's
you
good.
go.
It's the news is good shit, pal. Anyway,
That's good shit. Team number 30, they are 7-20 with an
oh
average
boy,
point score of 108.2. The Minnesota Timberwolves. They need to really start picking up because we're getting close to the halfway season, the halfway point of the season. And if these bottom teams just don't start winning, they are going to be out pretty quick. Team number 29, they are 8-19. They have an average of 108.9. It's the Pistons. Another team. They're slowly starting to crawl out, but it's going to be getting to that point where it might be too little, too late. The next team up, 8-17 with 113.2. It's the Washington Wizards, and those are the three bottom teams that have not had double-digit victories yet.
Right.
So with 20, where they're all in the mid 20s. With Minnesota's played 27, Detroit has played 27, Washington is 25. Remember, the season is 72, so a little bit more than we're up in the third of the season there. So these three teams have got to start playing better. Team number 27, they are 10-19 with an average of 104 points exactly. It's Cleveland, the Cavaliers. Next team, they are 10-18 with an average of 104.9. It's Orlando, the Magic. Next team, we're in the next stretch of teams, all have 11 victories. Bottom team in that group, Miami, 11-16 with an average of 106.6. Next team, team number 24, average 109.2, Houston. Next team after that, 112.8. Again, same record of 11-16. Atlanta, the Hawks. Next team after that has a slightly better record at 11-15 at 107.6. Oklahoma City.
Thunder.
The Thunder. Next team after that at 11-15, 113.2. Nolans, the Pelicans. And the last team to have the record of 11-15 at 114.9, the Bulls. Chicago. The Bulls. Doesn't work in hockey, I think. The Blackhawks. No, it doesn't work.
Yeah, they did that. They did that once on SNL with the guys. They said the Hawks, and it's like, yeah, but there's already a Hawks in basketball. So yeah.
The Bulls, the Bears, the Cubs. The Blackhawks doesn't work. Last team to have 11 wins. They are at 500. My soon-to-be residents, Memphis.
There you go.
11. I almost said hometown. I stopped myself. They are 11-11 with 111. They've got 11s all over them. 111.3. The Grizzlies.
Your home team in basketball technically is the Clippers because they played a lot of their early games in the Long Beach Arena. So there you go.
Did they really?
I'm pretty sure they did.
The West Coast professor has taught me.
Well, I will double check that as you go along. But also, I'll have to double check the stat on the hockey. So stand by. Keep going.
Okay. Team number 18. These next two teams have 12 victories. They have the same record. Of course, it all comes down to points. Team number 18 is the Toronto Raptors at 113.5. And we come into California for the Sacramento Kings. They have 113.9. 0.4 of a point.
Sacramento, we wish we were LA and having the same colors that we stuck worse than them. Anyway, actually, right now we stuck worse than them right now. Anyway, go ahead.
The next three teams all have 13 victories. Bottom team in that group is the Hornets at 111.3, followed by the aforementioned Mavericks at 112.9.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And another team that's at 500 as of yesterday, Boston, 13-13 with 110.1.
Okay, my Clippers stat was incorrect. I apologize.
Okay, no worries.
No,
The
San
next
Diego,
two teams.
Sorry, whatever.
They were San Diego?
Yeah, well, originally they were the Buffalo Braves, and then when they moved out here, they were San Diego, and they played at that piece of crap arena down there, and then they moved to another piece of crap arena, the LA Sports Arena.
There you go.
So,
anyway. The next two teams, they have 14 victories. We go to the East Coast, or we stay on the East Coast for the Knicks at 14-15 with 104.0 points. And another 500 team, Indiana, 14-14, 112.7. Yes. Next two teams have 15 victories. One being the entire state of California with the Golden State Warriors at 15-13, 114.5. And then we go to the state that I'll be flying to on my trip to Tennessee. I have a flight to Denver and the Nuggets at 15-11, 115.5. That is my plan on the 27th. I fly from Orange County to Denver. I have a nightly layover, and then I fly on to Tennessee. The next three teams, they have 16 victories. Team number 9, 16-11, San Antonio at 111.1. Team number 8, my second bandwagon team that I've jumped on because of Giannis and the Greek Freak, 16-11, 120.7. Almost the highest average for the season, but it's beaten out by a higher team. It's the Milwaukee Bucks. And team number 7 is the Portland Trailblazers at 16-10 at 115.5. The next two teams, they have 17 wins, and this is the team with the highest point average so far. They're at 121.4 per game. 17-12, the Brooklyn Nets. Followed by 17-9, the Phoenix Suns with 110.8. The only team to have 18 victories. We head to the East Coast, 18-10, Philadelphia. The next two teams, they represent Los Angeles, 21-8. It goes to the Clippers at 116.1, followed by the Los Angeles Lakers at 21-7. And again, for the second week, if almost not the third week, I think it's going on the third week, the sleeper team of the league, the Utah Jazz, they were on another winning streak, I believe. I think they got as high as 7, but they now lead the league at 23-5 with an average of 115.7. Don't sleep on Utah. They could, if they keep playing the way they keep playing, they're going to give LA a run for the money when it comes for the title. That's what I think on that one.
So I did my research, as I said I was going to do, regarding your home team in hockey. Okay, before I make my official statement on this, the family you were born into, your actual parents, where were they living 10 years before you were born? In 1967.
Mom was Long Beach, and I believe Dad was Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Because in 1967, the team that would be your home team did not have an arena ready yet. So their very first game was at the Long Beach Arena as they beat the Philadelphia Flyers 4-2. The Kings.
Oh, cool.
So even with your Duck fandom all these years, technically speaking, your hometown team really is the Kings. Because they played at the Long Beach Arena. because they played at the Long Beach Arena and the Sports Arena for a few months before the Forum opened in December of '67.
There you go.
So there you go.
Great segue into hockey. Good way to
So
get the hockey stuff
you've been
going.
a traitor all these years, and you didn't even know how deep your treachery went, young Pavelski.
Well, I didn't start following hockey until the Ice Dog years, and
which they
so
are a Long Beach team, and that's okay.
yeah, that was the true Long Beach team, but the Ice Dogs were an affiliate of the Canadiens. So if you really want to be technical, even though I was LA by birth, I was Montreal by proxy, thanks to LA, thanks to the Ice Dogs. And then when the Ducks came into town and took over from the movies, and I flocked to them because of the whole Disney franchise. Yep, Jay with the mic drop. Yep.
Mute the mic drop.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't use a microphone, so there it is right there. Yeah. So great segue into hockey. Great segue into hockey. So let's take a look at the standings and see where everybody would be. Don't really have any hockey news, unless you have some hockey news to share. I really don't have any.
Starting.
What's that?
The Kings are starting. That's my news for hockey.
Who you got tonight?
Dory's team, Minnesota.
Oh, that's right. The Kings are playing the Wild tonight, and the Wild haven't been. There she goes.
Here we go.
Oh, maybe I should put the game on in the background.
Oh God, here we go.
It's gonna be one of those shows. You should be out here watching it.
One of those shows, folks. It's about to get real good here for the next half hour.
I'll put it on after I'm done. I promise, so you can at least hear it. But
TV from Roku. Yeah, we know. I know.
Yeah.
Go.
Looking at so now we have a reason to get through the rankings, get through the shout out, and turn on the Kings, because the Kings the Wild are playing. Yeah, there we go. So the standings as far as the teams that would get in right now, if the playoffs were today, would be the Maple Leafs, the Canadiens, the Jets, and the Oilers, with the Flames, Canucks, and Senators not making it. In the Central Division, it would be the Lightning, the Panthers, the Hurricanes, and the Blackhawks, with the Blue Jackets, the Stars, the Predators, and the Red Wings looking through the knotholes in the fence. In the East,
the freaking Senators couldn't make a freaking playoffs with playing the D5 Ducks.
There you go. In the East, it would be the Bruins, the Flyers, the Islanders, and the Capitals, with the Penguins, Rangers, Sabres, and Devils not getting in. And in the West, of course, it would be the Golden Knights, the Blues, the Coyotes, and the Avalanche. And of course, the Ducks, Sharks, Wild, and Kings would not be in. Although the Avalanche and the Ducks each have 15 points, the Avalanche have 4 games in hand. That's why they are currently above the Ducks. Also, when it comes to who's on pace for the playoff spots, the Leafs, the Canadiens, and the Jets are all on pace to so far hold on to their playoff spots. The Oilers are not. The Flames are. So the Flames have, if the Flames, of course, this is based on winning out the season and where they would end up with all potential points. Of course, that's still going to change, but it's a possibility. You never know. In the Central, the Lightning, the Panthers, and the Hurricanes, they are all on pace, with the Stars still having the possibility, if they win out at 102 points, if they win out of everything there. In the East, the Bruins and the Flyers are on pace to keep their playoff potentials going. The Islanders do not. The Capitals do. And actually, it would be the Devils if they start winning and can get some points in the tally. They can easily pop in, depending on everything else. And in the West, the Knights, the Blues, and the Avalanche are all on pace to keep their spot, with the potential 4th spot going to the Wild if they keep playing as they should and winning out and everything else.
And the Kings keep playing like they're playing.
Yeah, really.
God.
So let's get to the power rankings and see where everyone ends up. Of course, it starts by points, then it goes by records, and then it goes by goals. Of course, the team on the bottom with only 9 points, 40 goals scored, 69 goals allowed, 4-12-1 record. It's the Ottawa Senators. 69 goals allowed is actually, yes, we're going to get this stat out right on the way. They've given up the most goals this season so far.
Christian Allen likes that stat.
I would assume so, and I give them 3 more weeks, and I'll say that they've given up 100 goals in a season, and
Jeez,
that is a stat you do not want.
Right.
The next 2 teams, they have 10 points each. We're going to the East Coast. We're hitting New York. It's the Buffalo Sabres. 10 points, 31 goals scored, 35 goals allowed, a record of 4, 5, and 2. Staying on the East Coast, we're not in New York, we're in New Jersey. It's the Devils. 10 points, 31 goals scored, 35 goals allowed, and a record of 4, 3, and 2. The last team to have 10 points, it's Detroit, the Red Wings. 10 points, 35 goals scored, 54 goals allowed, and a record of 4, 10, and 2. Again, these teams have got to start playing, and they have got to start winning if they want any attempt to get near the playoffs. Next 2 teams, they have 11 points. We're staying on the East Coast. Now we're hitting New York. 11 points for the Rangers, 31 goals scored, 34 goals allowed, and a record of 4, 6, and 3. And we're changing to the West Coast, bring up the silver and black shield, 11 points, 40 goals scored, 44 goals allowed. Same record as the Rangers, but they have more goals scored, therefore they get the higher ranking. We go to where my hometown is, well, my residency is going to be next. These next 2 teams have 12 points. There's the Nashville Predators, 36 goals scored, 52 goals allowed, and a record of 6, 9, and 0. And the next team is Dory's team. It's the Minnesota Wild at 12 points, 30 goals scored, 30 goals allowed, 6, 5, and 0. Let's see if I can get her out of the bedroom. Go, Kings, go! Go, Kings, go! Go, Kings, go!
She's going to kill you.
She's going to kill me before we get to Tennessee? I don't think so. We both have jobs out there.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We both have jobs. We have a place to live. She's not going to kill me before the cold will kill me before she does.
True that.
It's freezing out there.
It is. Cold here too right now.
Is it cold in Canyon Country?
It's been like in the 40s and 50s all day, dude. It's terrible. Hey, so just so you know, just for fun, Kings are playing Dory's team, Minnesota.
Yes.
Vegas is playing the soon-to-be Mrs. Riff's team, Colorado, right now on
Go Vegas.
So go Vegas. That's it. Yep. And they actually just started on over. They are in Vegas tonight, and so everybody's home tonight. Kings of Vegas are at home tonight. There we go.
I think
anyway.
Are the Ducks playing tonight?
Ducks are off. They played yesterday.
Oh, we played yesterday. Okay. All right. Next
we won,
team.
You bastards. Anyway. I'm sorry.
San Jose won. In fact, they're the next team we're talking about.
There we go.
Team number 23, 13 points. The team that beat us, the Sharks.
It's almost like you planned the segue. Beautiful. Beautiful.
I didn't. 38 goals scored, 51 goals allowed, and a record of 6, 7, and 1, 13 points. Next team number 22 with 14 points, 40 goals scored, 44 goals allowed, 5, 3, and 4, the Stars. And now, the team that should have won last night. 15 points, 32 goals scored, 42 goals allowed, a record of 6, 7, and 3. There we go, the Anaheim Ducks. Next, we venture into Canada. Or no, we don't. I'm sorry. We go to the nation's capital. 15 points, 47 goals scored, 51 goals allowed, a record of 6, 4, and 3. Next up is the Washington Capitals. Now we go into Canada. Another team with 15 points, 57 goals scored, 71 goals allowed. Okay, they are not the team that has given up the most goals. They're at 71. Ottawa is at 69. So 71 goals scored, but Vancouver is the next team with a record of 7, 11, and 1.
There you go.
Next team to have 15 points, we're on the East Coast with the Pittsburgh Penguins. 43 goals scored, 47 goals allowed, 7, 5, and 1 record. We just talked about them. The last team to have 15 points, Colorado.
There you go.
38 goals scored, 25 goals allowed, and a record of 7, 4, and 1. 16 points, the only team to have 16 points as of yesterday, Arizona. The Coyotes, 40 goals scored, 42 goals allowed, and a record of 7-6-2. We go back to the East Coast. These next two teams have 17 points. New York Islanders, 35 goals scored, 34 goals allowed, a record of 7-4-3. We go back into Canada for the next team that has 17 points, and that would be the Calgary Flames, 44 goals scored, 40 goals allowed, and a record of 8-6-1.
Since Vegas is on, I changed our logo in the corner just so you know, so that way that way she's here with us too. Anyway,
there you go. Hey Bailey, how's it going? Next team, 18 points, 50 goals scored, 60 goals allowed. Nice and even on that one. 7-6-4, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Next team to have 18 points, they have 46 goals scored, 41 goals allowed, and a record of 8-3-2. That would be the Philadelphia Flyers. We go back into Canada for the next team with 18 points, 60 goals scored. 60 goals scored, and I believe that is the team with the most. Yes, it would be. That would be the Edmonton Oilers.
There you go.
Give them another month, and they will probably hit the 100 mark, I think. Is there a trophy for the team that scores the most goals? There should be. If there isn't, there should be. If there isn't, there should be. I mean, we all know that we know the Stanley Cup is for the playoffs. The President's Trophy is for the most points. How about the most goals?
Hang on one second, Mikey. Let me find out.
Okay, I'll keep going. 9-8-0 record for the Oilers. 19 points is the next team. We're staying in Canada. It's the Jets. 53 goals scored, 43 goals allowed, and a record of 9-5-1.
There is there's a team, not a points, not goals. Sorry, I had you out of my ear so I could hear my dad give me the answer.
Okay. We're in the top 10. Winnipeg is team number 10. All right. And the remainder of the teams all are in the 20s. And that means they're winning. That means they're scoring points. They're scoring goals. Team number 9 at 20 points, 50 goals scored, 51 goals allowed, and a record of 8-5-4, the Chicago Blackhawks. Next team with 20 points, 52 goals scored, 49 goals allowed, 9-5-2 record, the St. Louis Blues. Heading back into Canada, next team with 20 points, 52 goals scored, 39 goals allowed, a record of 9-4-2, the Habs, Montreal Canadiens. We head down into Florida for the next team, 20 points, 44 goals scored, 40 goals allowed, a record of 9-2-2. It's the Panthers. We're in the top 5, the last team to have 20 points. 50 goals scored, 36 goals allowed, a record of 10-3-0. In fact, the top 5 teams all have 10 or more victories. And we have the Carolina Hurricanes with a record of 10-3-0. Team number 4, they have 21 points, 54 goals scored, 32 goals allowed, a record of 10-3-1, the Tampa Bay Lightning. Team number 3, they also have 21 points, 41 goals scored, 28 goals allowed, a record of 10-2-1. It's the Vegas Golden Knights.
We're on the power. They're on penalty kill. Crap, not good. Good.
Team number 2, 22 points, 42 goals scored, 30 goals allowed, a record of 10-2-2, which is not the best record in the league. It's the Boston Bruins, the top team with the most points and the best record. 58 goals scored, 44 goals allowed, a record of 11-3-2. One of the two teams that Jeff has said, I believe you've said it many times, this team is going to go they're going all the way, the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's your power rankings.
All right, let me get your logo back in. Go back in the corner now since we're off that.
There you go.
Okay,
we're pretty much done with all the news and all the plugs and everything else. It's unless you got anything else, we're going into this shutout and we're watching hockey.
I've always got plugs, you know that, and this time it's our brother. So Renegades Reviews is still going on this week. It's still Black History Month on the backside of February. So tomorrow, Notorious, the story of Notorious B.I.G. Thursday, the story of Ray Charles, featuring Jamie Foxx as Ray Charles. Friday, the Costa's favorite Black History Month movie, straight out of Compton, Besides Friday, obviously. Saturday, Get On Up, the story of James Brown, and Sunday he'll have All Eyes on Me. That'll be premiering probably around the same time I go on the air for Chamber. So, give JJ a watch. The first hour is crap anyway. It's freaking pre-show. Who gives a shit? So give JJ a watch, and then come on over to the Jeff Meacham Network, and we'll do the damn thing, kids. Tomorrow, Greg Cherry Show on my network, on Greg's network, and the Kings got a power play goal. They're up 1-0.
What channel are they on?
They are on Fox Sports West. Oh well, it's either that or Prime Ticket. Whatever one the boxing isn't on.
Because there was a fight on. I'm trying to bring up. Oh, that's why I'm on ESPN. That's why. There we go. I was one channel away.
Let's see.
There we go. The game is on. There it is.
Looks like. Let's see. Let me get the replay here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to see who. Oh, Anderson Dolan with the goal. Attaboy. There you go. Anyway, so Wednesday, I'll be back on the air with Greg Cherry. I was on last week because of what I'm about to plug momentarily. We'll be back with Chamber predictions for Greg, Weird State Laws, of course, Wednesday Q&A, and a preview of the Thursday matchup on WTC, which we'll get to momentarily here. Then Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, God help me, I'm still editing this damn thing because there's so much I can't put on the air. Goodness gracious. Adam Contras, Jeff Meacham, and a bottle of Jim Beam Vanilla that was half gone by the time we're done with this interview. I'm not kidding or exaggerating at all. So yeah, there's basically at the point before we went on the air, there was a 7-minute portion of the show I had to literally crop out and do a cut in shot and go, yeah, no. So it's probably
I have a duck over my shoulder.
Quack.
I have a duck over my shoulder. Look at that. How about that?
That's fine. Cute. So after we recover from the Wednesday broadcast, Thursday afternoon early, we'll be on with that's changed. Hang on, that's not the case anymore. Let me take that down because that's no longer accurate because we have a winner. Where's my stats? Stand by, we're live. We live on the air, and Jeff screwed up, so he has to hurry and fix it. There it is. Anyway,
I'm keeping an eye on the Kings game, actually.
But yeah, I got Kings here and I got Vegas off to the side here. Anyway, Thursday, the vote has been chosen as Brett versus Owen. WrestleMania 10 will be our match.
Right. Excellent match.
The greatest opening match in WrestleMania history. Fight me.
I would definitely agree. Absolutely.
Right. So there is that.
Just like they were in the dungeon, and the big start of their storyline, which of course I would say finished at SummerSlam in the steel cage. I think that's cemented it.
This went on for a while, and then Davey turned the year after, and they kind of got together. So Davey and Owen were both heels, and they got involved every now and again. And then the big reunion at after WrestleMania in 1997. Man, what a promo by Brett! And the tears, but it's just a great segment. Anyway, this is where it starts right here. It's 10. Yeah, following that at 6:00 Eastern, 3 Pacific will be the next round in the NoDQ.com Wrestling Trivia Challenge Contenders Tournament for Greg's next challenger. It'll be Matt Rosa versus Ruben Garcia. Yes, that Ruben Garcia, the guy that made Greg and I collectively tighten our buttholes for the better part of an hour during
and me and you.
Yeah, that's true. Yes,
oh yeah.
You in the green room keeping the stats. Good Lord, what a freaking afternoon that was. He is facing Matt Rosa, so it'll be interesting. And then at 6:30 Eastern, of course, the post game with little old me and Greg will be doing our coverage of that. Friday on the Dads, we'll be bringing in JJ's special guest Laura to do our top 10 love songs / breakup songs. So glad this damn month's over. I hate freaking Valentine's. Just hate it. Saturday morning, noon Eastern for you kids back there, but 9:00 for me. The next chapter 5 of Anniversary of Anarchy, The Dark Side of Hulkamania, as we see the unveiling of the black and white clad Hulk Hogan. It's a pivotal moment in wrestling history. Sunday morning, the dream comes true at the Bash, Great American Bash, as we do chapter 2 of Big Gold. Sunday, of course, is Elimination Chamber. And that's what we're doing. We're doing a watch along. The watch alongs are back, baby. I had so much fun doing this on Sunday, and I I'm still overwhelmed I got the money I got, because it's crazy that I actually am able to make purchases that benefit the network. I'm so happy for that. So thank you, everybody that watched last Sunday. Please come on back this Sunday. It's going to be a crazy show. They're going to add more stuff to it within the 5 matches they have lined up now, so whatever it's for. So come on back, and then we start the cycle over again on Monday with Talk Wrestling.
And like I said on the Gridiron Grapple, right now I'm up in the air. I'm leaning towards I'm still going to be here next week. Again, I'm not leaving California until the 27th. It depends on how crazy everything is. I mean, normally, I'd be over in the corner there where I would sit at the table. I did that for a couple weeks. That is now just covered in boxes and things. This move is happening, and it's happening pretty quick. So it is, I'm probably going to be like a game day decision on next week's show. I'm still going to work on the stats, and I also need to apologize that I have not been putting up the results on the group page.
Shit, Colorado scored.
They did?
Yeah, against Vegas.
Okay. So I do apologize for not keeping that up. And like I mentioned, and I don't know if you heard, but definitely between the weeks of the end of February to mid-March, depending on if I can get a stable Wi-Fi or not, will be if I'm actually in the sports bar reporting. But again, keeping the stats and keeping the scores and keeping all the rankings, that's not going to change. So, and once I get fully set up in Tennessee, and I'm coming back in, and I'm going to keep doing my stuff here. I'm not going anywhere. Right. Not as far as leaving the network or anything. That's not going to happen. That's not part of the play. So I just want everyone to understand that probably I have an afternoon flight. More than likely, I'm going to turn on my Facebook Live. It's going to be on my personal page. So if you guys want to do, shout outs, comments, I'm going to turn on Facebook Live. I'm planning on taking an Uber to John Wayne Airport. And that'll be my last ride out of California. And then while I go through TSA, the phone might be off, and as I'm sitting in the airport, and then I'll probably get one last shot from the airplane, and I'll fly off to Denver. And then when I get to Denver, I'll check in, and then I fly off to Tennessee. And depending on how Wi-Fi and stability is and all that stuff, that's my plan.
Working on one more plug, but go ahead and keep going, Mikey. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, that's basically it. I mean, I don't really have any other plugs after that. And then
one more here. Just taking forever.
On March 1st, Dory starts her processing for Dollywood. Big shout out to Dory. She got him employed at Dollywood.
I'm so happy for you guys, man. I can't even tell you.
And then March 2nd, I do my processing. And then March 5th will be, I think, my official start date with training. And the Dollywood season starts on March 13th, I believe. So, and am I anticipating? Oh yeah, like I say, this is happening. This is a big move. I'm not fully turning my back on California. Never say never. I'll always. I want to get one of those shirts that they'll probably say, Nashville is where I roam, but Long Beach is always my home, or something like that. I don't know. Or Orange County is my home now because I've been here in Orange County for the past 2 years.
You're missing a perfectly good Dolly Parton moment here, right?
Really?
You're leaving California, but you'll always be here. You will always love California.
Oh,
come on!
I know that's a Dolly song. I know that it's a Dolly song, but that song is more of a Whitney song than a Dolly song to me because she made it powerful and got the Grammy for it. You're going to get yourself
fired before you even get back there.
I probably will. I don't know what's going to happen out there, really. I mean, I would love to. Oh, Dory just flipped off the Kings. Oh, and Jeff just praised you, Dory. He sent you lots of positivity for getting hired at Dollywood, and you disrespect his team.
On my own network at that. Terrible.
Terrible
I
indeed.
see.
Okay.
Okay,
But
I have
okay.
so oh good.
Well, I was finishing my thought. Dory put me on a new stuff. So what do you got?
So the Disney plug I was telling Jay about, they tweeted out the first post Cruella movie starring Emma Stone.
Oh, Emma Stone playing Cruella.
That ought to be good. By the way, thank you, Jeff.
You're very welcome, Dory. I can hear her. She just can't hear me because I'm on headset. Yeah, you're very welcome, darling.
Don't worry. After we sign off, we'll keep the stuff going.
Good
so
stuff.
Emma Stone as Cruella de Vil. Wow, that's.
I can get behind that.
That'd be awesome.
This is live action, right? This is not animated.
Yeah. Totally live action. Yep.
Wow.
So and then
I actually I broke one of my own. I can now say I've seen an episode of The Mandalorian.
Oh, cool. Very good.
Interesting. You know, I haven't
seen season 2 at all. So for the record, still haven't seen season 2. I'm way behind. So.
I'm not saying that I hate it, but I'm not going to rush out and watch the rest of it either. So there's that. I get it. It's the whole Star Wars thing there.
Well, when Adam gets his stuff fixed, we'll have access to watch it on Disney Plus.
There you go.
Even while
There you go. So, but when I was watching The Mandalorian, I was trying to figure out the timeline as to where it fits, and my guess is it's somewhere in the post-Empire era.
They've already stated it's shortly after the fall of the Empire, right after Jedi.
Okay.
So because
then that would well, there's a scene, and I really don't want to spoil it. If you are interested in watching The Mandalorian, this will be a possible spoiler alert. The Mandalorian has his own mini carbon freezing chamber in his ship.
Right. Yeah.
And I saw that, and I'm like, wow, that's. I thought the whole thing on Bespin was cool, but to have a smaller version in your ship where you can conveniently freeze your bounties and collect, that was pretty clever in that. Okay, we're off canon, so let's get to the Stat Boy shout out here, and then we'll close up the bar for the night.
Well, I want to do one. I want one more plug. I haven't done one of these in a while. I really wanted to put because. Our friend is our friend of the channel has a new setup right now on her Patreon, and she's adding a companion set as we speak. She's editing right now 183 images for the set she's going to post either tonight or tomorrow. But the set that's already up is her Valentine Good Girl set. Alexander the Red. This is her Twitter post that she put up for it, and this is the preview that's on Twitter. So there you go.
Hey now.
Yeah, it only gets better, kids. I promise you. So when that set goes up, because she's calling the other set the Bad Girl Valentine set.
Well, okay, leave that to the imagination.
There won't be much imagination if I know Alexandria like I think I do. So yeah, it'll be a fun night for good old JM and his private office space.
Well,
anyway,
I do see her sets. She does everything tastefully.
Very tastefully, always.
Oh yeah. So I mean, how are we talking all the way here, or I mean,
okay,
that's not her thing.
No,
that's not no.
On her Patreon, she does do full on nude photos. But like I said, she never gets like graphic or whatever. She's very tasteful. She's classy as they come, and she's the biggest Disney nerd I know that's not in my family. So there you go.
Bigger than you? You're a pretty good sized Disney nerd.
Not my family. I just said that.
Okay.
Yeah, her and her hubby just spent a few days at Disney World because they're open and we're not. So they wanted to get some normalcy in their life, so they went to Florida and Disney World. So and
another reason why I'm possibly leaving California, because I'm tired of having Disneyland not open, even though I haven't been there for
long enough.
When was the last time I went to Disneyland? I don't remember. And we're talking. And we're talking the actual park. We're not talking downtown Disney or DCA. We're actually talking Disney. It's been a while. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't
All
think
right.
you've been inside the park gate since you stopped working there.
No, I did go back once. I want to say 2017. I think it's almost going to be 5 years before I get back to Disneyland.
Right. Anyway.
All right. Stat Boy shout out. Here's a first. This is now the first 2-time recipient of the Stat Boy shout out. It's D'Angelo Williams again. Of course, if you remember, I gave him the shout out a few months back after he finished the Amazing Race and whatnot. Well, since then I follow him on Facebook. We're not friends on Facebook, but because he's a celebrity athlete, you can follow him. And I get the notifications that he goes live, and he talks with people. Today's live stream that he did was a very interesting and also funny live stream that I have to address. The initial topic was he wanted to know the whole debate as to why Goofy is not a dog and Pluto is a dog.
Right.
And then that spiraled into why do not all cartoon characters that are animals talk?
Right.
Some of them do and some of them don't. And so he's throwing out all these different, he's like, name a cartoon character or name a cartoon show that has animals and some talk and some don't. And of course all the followers are watching along. And then the reason we have the nightmare stuff up is because it spiraled into what kind of movie is Nightmare Before Christmas? Is it a Christmas movie or is it a Halloween movie?
Right.
And again, that's a debate that will never get settled because it's split down the middle. Some see it as a Halloween movie. I see it as a Christmas movie because it only comes out around Christmas time. I'm not. Yeah. No, it can't be both. That's the third answer, and the third answer does not. No, it has to be one or the other in this case. Option C does not count.
It's both, and they start showing it at Halloween.
You see?
In October.
You see? We're going to end up killing each other before we get to Tennessee.
No problem.
Telling you, dude.
It's 32 degrees outside. I'll just lock them outside.
There you go.
Let's bring in the cast member. Adam, come here for a second.
Jesus.
Come here. I need you. You're the
cast member. I'm laid off.
Well, it doesn't matter. You still have Disney. Settle the debate. Is Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie?
It's a Christmas movie.
Yep.
It is both.
Christmas movie.
No, you have to pick a side.
No, he doesn't. Actually, he did pick a side.
Pussy.
Mine.
Actually, no, it is both. It's how.
Oh, come on.
No, because it is just the backstory to it.
Anyway, this debate's going to go on forever and ever. It's going to go on forever and ever. So D'Angelo Williams, two-time recipient of the Stat Boy shout out. So thank you everybody for watching. Again, next week is up in the air. I'm going to be a game day decision. This isn't goodbye yet, or at least goodbye to California. That's going to be on the 27th. We're going to focus on watching hockey for the rest of the night. Super chats, buy t-shirts, follow me on Twitter at LBStatKid1977. Follow me on the Facebook page. Thank you all. Hopefully I'll see you next week. More than likely it's going to be a yes, depending on what's happening in the house. I love you all. Stay safe. Stat Boy out.